we actually have Koven on the line right now. Koven, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
All right, no doubt. Now, after all of that, man, see how the government strikes, you know what I'm saying? But we have Koven, a.k.a. Eric Sheppard, on the line. He's making pink people mad across the country with the Eric Sheppard Challenge, you know. But people want to know about exactly what happened, because this is a nation-building discussion, but I want to give people a little bit of context about what it is that happened exactly on that day when they were filming you and you did that interview. I know you stomped on the flag. But can you tell us a little bit about that incident itself and just talk about it?
All right. What most people don't know actually was that we were actually out there for two weeks prior to that, doing the exact same thing, but without the flags. So we were actually out there, you know, me and my brothers, we were out there building with our people on the campus, trying to bring them into, you know, into the knowledge, offering them, you know, treats and things, you know, things that would be, you know, of incentive for them to come over and you know, build with us and kick it on the knowledge or whatever. But so for 2 weeks, actually, we had been out there building with our people. But when you look at it in the finite scope, especially through the scope of the white media, they think it was just like a one-day thing. We just came out there one day and did it. But it was actually a build-up to it from 2 weeks prior of just us, you know, building with our brothers and sisters on campus. But that day, you know, when they were filming and everything, well, actually the day before, which everybody saw too, or not the day before, but the Friday before that following Monday, that's when, you know, the infamous picture was taken and the Michelle Manhart incident had went down. But the following Monday, I mean, that's when, you know, the counter protests on behalf of on all the Europeans on campus, when, you know, when they decided to say their counter protest. And so it clashed with what we were doing because we were still going to be out there doing our thing, you know, doing what we were naturally, you know, going to do. It's just they decided to show up in mass numbers, given that they had, you know, an emotional conflict with what we were doing. And so, you know, just all in context, it was just context. It was all just a reaction to what we had done, because they wouldn't expect, especially, you know, niggas down in Valdosta, and little old cracker Valdosta, to be acting or thinking that way, especially when we're right down the street from Moody Air Force Base, which is, you know, a very, you know, very good old type of military base. I mean, as any military base would be, but you know, it's a very military-oriented town as well, and so they wouldn't expect, you know, people, especially on the university campus, doing what we had done. And so, you know, just to lay it all out, it was basically done. What we had done, it was really nothing new. It's not new at all to desecrate a flag, but where we had done it and how we had done it, that's what set everything off. Because they wouldn't expect, again, like I said, they wouldn't expect black men who are knowledgeable of what is happening, what's going on, and what's going down with our people, to stand up and speak against it, and then to do it in the manner in which we did it. Because it wasn't just me out there, although there was media focus on me. You know, there were several of my brothers and sisters out there, you know, helping me, you know, build with the people and shut down all the rhetoric that these crackers was coming with. So that's basically what was happening on that day.
No doubt. That's what it is, man. That's what people want to know, exactly what it was that, you know what I'm saying, that started the whole thing. Now, they said in the media it was like they found a bag. After all that happened, they were like they found a bag and a gun and all this other crazy stuff. I mean, you know, and to me it was like almost like they were just setting up, like trying to hunt somebody live on TV. And that's when I was like, no, we can't have our progressive thinkers be hunted down like this. And, you know, I was encouraging people that, you know, we can't do that. But we have to meet people with resistance. There has to be a certain level of resistance as we had to do. You know what I'm saying? People got to put it all out on the line, man. Because we're not going to just have them come and take our leaders like they took Malachi York, like they took different leaders, you know what I'm saying, and take them and do these different things with them, it's not going to happen anymore. So, you know, guys, we're setting a precedent right now. All of our progressive leaders, we're not allowing the law to touch them. We're not allowing anything to happen to them. So that's basically where it is right now. And you know, I stand in solidarity with my people that are involved also as well with CMXD. That's what we talked about that. You know what I'm saying? And I know they're on the line as well. So I definitely want to you know, see what they have to say about it, because we stand in solidarity with you guys. I know we got Los Angeles on the line. So you guys say who you are, introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, it's Stephanie. I'm calling out of LA. What you want me to say? You want me to talk about our black experience out here in LA?
No, I'm talking about standing in solidarity with Koven, aka Eric Sheppard, and his decision. And because we were talking about that.
We were talking about that today in regards to our Claim Malcolm X event. For the most part, everyone who is participating in this event is participating in stomping and burning the flag in their particular areas. As far as LA is concerned, we're going to shut down a particular street, or actually we're shutting down a particular intersection. In the middle of the intersection, we're going to burn the flag and record it, and we're going to have signs that say we stand with EJ. We're going to also have signs out there for Ezel Ford, you know, because, you know, he was the boy who got shot out here in LA, and that's still a big thing out here. We're going to have signs, Black Lives Matter, like we're going to turn it for Malcolm X, you know, turn it out by any means necessary, period and point blank.
Okay, I know the founder of the movement is on the line right now. Claim Malcolm X Day, Sunshine. You can hear us, Sunshine?
Hey, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hey y'all, it's Sunshine. For everybody to know, on May 19th, we give Malcolm X a holiday, and that is also going to be a day to be in 100% solidarity with Eric Sheppard and with Eric Sheppard Challenge. I feel it's very important to do so. Malcolm X was a very revolutionary leader who said, I'm a black person. He did point out white people as devils that they are. I'm not trying to sound like a fucked up person, but he did. And as we know, Malcolm X.
Okay. Sunshine, you still on the line? All right. Yeah, we stand in solidarity with you, man, in your decision, and, you know, saying, like, anywhere there's a Malcolm X Day on May 19th, definitely are welcome there. The hands-off EJ zone, so, you know what I'm saying, we're taking to it like that. But, you know, what I often say is nation building is a conversation to be had while walking. So we're going to be walking and taking steps today, you know what I'm saying, in formation of this nation building thing. Now, we're seeing a lot of police terrorism that's happening right now. Why do you think there is, like, do you think that is more right now, or do you think that it's just people are filming it more and there's more media available to cover the police terrorism, or do you think that it's actually an onslaught, like a new assault that's happening?
Well, white supremacist aggression or European aggression is not anything new. Police brutality, the rate has been very consistent actually since the dawn of the police force in America. So when we're dealing with the statistics of police brutality and just the nature of it in general, we're not dealing with anything new. So like you said, yes, it is. It's just more of a public eye on what it is. People now have access to, or they have the capability to film it, to record it, and put it out, and bypass, the major means of communication for people, which is, news media source, Jews media source, and they can just bypass that and upload it straight onto YouTube or whatever other mass video collector and show people all around the world. So it's not a thing of it being an increased onslaught of African people. It's a very consistent thing. But now that you have a public eye on it, now more of the emotion and more of the reaction to it is becoming more prominent amongst our people and amongst other people as well. So, we're only coming into the realization of what has already been happening, and only by way of the consciousness of God, which in many forms could be considered the internet. But, it's nothing new that we're dealing with. And so, we have to, again, assess it by appropriate measure and not just become aware of it, but act against it in every way possible that it needs to be acted against.
Yeah, I can dig it, man. And also we do have to push back at it, not only push back, but shoot first at it, man, because it's not going anywhere. And right now is a time for change. So we have to take progressive steps towards that. Now, where do you see spirituality as far as like people's different spiritual paths? Is there one that's hindering another? Because to me it seems like all the major religions are also trying to play a part in this as well, as far as like with the the mental enslavement of people. So what is your take on spirituality and African spirituality, black spirituality, and where it needs to go?
African spirituality does definitely need to be rekindled amongst our people. It has been attacked by European religion, all European religion, especially all three of the Abrahamic faiths, which include Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, in that order, for the most part. And so when we're looking, hello?
Yeah.
Okay. When we're looking at European religion and its aggression towards African spirituality, again, we need to assess what it is that occurred during that process. And once we see that during that entire process, it was basically meant to destroy every remnant of African nature and African spirituality. But we have to see that African spirituality connected us directly to what we consider to be God. But as I said on the video, you're not going to be looking at anything, well, essentially what I was alluding to, I'll say, you're not going to be looking towards anything outside of self. And so you have to reassess what is the concept of God for the European, what is the concept of God for the African. It's two very basic concepts. One is external and one is internal. One is intrinsic, one is things that you can reason with, and one is just fairy tale. That's the European concept, which is fairy tale. The African spiritual systems always dictated that God is nature and God is self. You would never be dealing with spookism, a spook god, a spook daddy, or a spook mama sitting off in the sky doing, dictating on some bullshit. So when we talk about African spirituality, we're talking about reality. But when you're talking about European religion, you're talking about theory and fairy tale. You're not talking about anything that's real. And so for many of our people that may be listening in right now, y'all better get y'all ass up out that goddamn hypnosis. There is no sky daddy, ain't no damn Jesus. There is no Yahweh. There is no devil under the ground. There is no sky daddy up in the, looking down on us. There is no false Allah either, sitting off in the sky somewhere. Those things don't exist. Those are things that you cannot reason with. You've never seen Jesus. You've never seen God. You've never seen Yahweh. You've never seen any of this. You cannot reason with that. But what you have seen and reason with is nature. What you have seen and reason with is your brothers and sisters. You've always depended on nature, and you've always depended on your brothers and sisters or your immediate family. That in itself is the consciousness, the body of God. So we don't need to sit here and try to debate this whole God thing. It's very clear what the fuck it is. We don't have to sit here and develop, huge theories and formulate debates and shit on it. It is what the fuck it is. Nature is everybody's reality. What is everybody's reality? And whatever everybody's reality is, that's what God is. Because God is said to be very obvious and potent in all things, right? Well, shit, nature is very obvious and potent to everybody's reality. So be it that we come from nature, you see, be it that we come from nature, we can comfortably say that we come from God and that we are indeed God. So that's what you're dealing with when you deal with African spirituality. You're not dealing with anything that you can't reason with. So, yes, we do need to come back to African spirituality because that's one thing that will wake niggas up when they actually start to reason. When they can reason with their spirit, they can reason with their social reality. And from that point forward, act as the God vessel that they know they ought to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you think about that white lady that took your flag and then turned out she was modeling naked with it?
Oh, Michelle, man, bitch. I hate her. Just as I hate every other European. First of all, again, she was acting on her usual non-consciousness as a European, thievery. She stole. And she was applauded for it by other Europeans and coons who, I guess, aligned with her terroristic organization. So as far as Michelle Man-Bitch goes, she's just a typical European. She stole my flag. And other Europeans gloried at her act of what they call heroism because they're still trying to keep everybody in a finite scope. You have to understand the same propaganda campaign that America is putting down is built off of the same propaganda campaign that Nazi Germany was putting down. But it's 10 times greater. But because we're subjected to it and we're subject, you know what I'm saying, we're subjective to judging, you know, the threat that it has on our lives, we don't see it as being we don't see it as being harmful to our existence. And so Michelle Man-Bitch, when she can come and steal a flag and then it be proposed as an act of heroism, shows you the great divide or shows you the disconnect from consciousness that many motherfuckers have within our own race and outside of our race. So as far as how I feel about Michelle Man-Bitch, I still have the same level of hate for her as I have for any other European. My hate cannot be any more perfected for the European than it already is. So, but it only further, reinforce what hate I already do have for them. So she wasn't acting out of her nature. She was acting much within her nature when she came and stole the flag.
Exactly. I feel the same way. It's just like, they are completely quiet. And this is how you know they're part of this criminal organization called white people. And I want to put it out there, man. If you're a quote-unquote white person and you feel that you haven't committed any international war crimes, claim your pink status, you know what I'm saying? Because white people, this band of terrorists, you know what I'm saying, they act in a certain way, and they've been acting that way since we've been here, since we've been under the good ship Jesus. But there's been a lot of love for what you're doing and a lot of love for the movement. I do want to get to the callers. 310, you're on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven, a.k.a. Eric Sheppard. Do you have a question or a comment?
No, I just want to say salute to my man Eric Sheppard, man, and just happy to be part of this conversation. And I've been listening for a few minutes, and it's very enlightening, man. And at the same time, I always love to see the energy of us, unification, getting together, talking about what we're talking about. So I love it. I just want to say salute.
Oh yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you.
No doubt, family. Where are you calling from?
I'm out here in Seattle, Washington right now, man. But as you can know, I have a LA area code, so I'll be traveling to different places and stuff like that. Yes. All
right, no doubt, man. Hey, hashtag CMXC, man, and see what people are doing in your area, too, man, because it's going down May 19th. There's no turning back. May 20th, it's going to be a whole new day. 757, I do have 757 on the line. Do you have a question or a comment about
brother?
The Eric Sheppard Challenge? Yes, 757.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, what's up,
brother? Doing good.
Hey, I just want to call in and just, tell that young brother to keep his head up. And, it's always good to see people on the front line, battling for something, because the funny thing to me, it's always, something bad when you know, as he took that flag and desecrated it, as they call it. But, you know, for years they've been burning crosses and burning crosses. You know, they've been doing so many things, and nobody ever spoke out about that. And like he said about the young lady, now it's called heroism when she takes it up and stands up for it. But where were they when Brother Eric Garner was getting choked out? Where were they? So, you know, I salute the challenge, you know, and I stand for it, because if we couldn't show solidarity for Brother Trayvon Martin, if we couldn't show solidarity for Eric Garner, you know, because that's crazy that there's more rights for a daggone flag than a human life. So I say step on it, you know, burn it, do whatever you need to do. And it's not hate. You know, they say you're a hate monger because you stand up for something that doesn't even benefit you. This flag doesn't benefit us in one way or other. So, brother, I say keep doing what you're doing.
Indeed, brother. Thank you. Indeed.
All right, no doubt. Where you calling from, man?
Oh, I'm in the ATL, man, but I have a 757 code, brother.
All right. Hey, that's what it is, ATL. That's what's going on. But, yeah, what I want to say is this. We have made so many concessions as people, and I'm saying, like, we have sort of, you know, allowed so much stuff to happen as far as with the police terrorism. They're attacking us. I know in Valdosta, there was a case of a teenager. They took his organs and stuff like that. Now people are calling you. I don't know, like in the news, man, and a lot of people on the social media. We're doing the Malcolm X Day, and a lot of people are likening you to Malcolm X, saying that you're the new Malcolm X. What do you think about that? And what steps do you think we need to take as a people to ensure that police terrorism stops? Real stuff.
Well, as far as the title of a new Malcolm X, I can't say that. You know, I wouldn't feel somewhat humbled by that. You know, I do appreciate that, but in the same sense, I'm still trying to be my own man, because Malcolm X has already existed, and we've already experienced Malcolm X. But now we have to start to think in 2015 terms. Malcolm X died in 1965, you see. So we need not to keep looking back to the past and trying to bring back a new Garvey or bring back a new Malcolm or bring back a new Elijah Muhammad. We need to start to look for new reinvigorating groups of people. Notice I didn't say leaders, because black people don't need any more motherfucking leaders. You don't need any more Jesus-like figures. What you need is everybody to be on the same fucking page. Because, again, like Tariq and several others have said on the Hidden Colors documentary, you don't see gay people having gay leaders or Hispanics having Hispanic leaders. Everybody's just on the same motherfucking page about what it is. Everybody needs the goddamn culture. And when you have the culture, then you're not gonna have this threat of white people trying to target our leader and then dissipating the movement. Because historically, that's how our movements have died, one way or another, and through infiltration. So what we need is for everybody to be on the same fucking page. Everybody needs to be a militant motherfucking warrior, period. You don't need another Malcolm. You don't need another Martin Luther King. Definitely not no damn Martin Luther King. You definitely don't need, you don't need another Marcus Garvey. You don't need another leader. Because in some sense, that's almost like expecting a Jesus. Black people are still looking for some kind of Jesus in the world. They're still trying to follow someone. Stop trying to follow someone and get on the same page with everybody. You see? If everybody can act in a leadership capacity, then there's no need for one leader. There's no need for that one Jesus figure that you're looking for. So although we can, even in the revolutionary community, we can sit here and demonize, you know, the story of Jesus as we rightfully should all damn day and say it's false and fake. But in many sense, subconsciously, we're still Christians because we're looking for leaders. How about you look for everybody getting on the same damn page? Because that way, now at that point, the revolution becomes that much more stronger. These crackers going to be out here like, well, which niggas do we kill? Which nigga is leading them all? Nigga, we leading ourselves. Everybody's leading everybody. Everybody is walking side by side. There's not one motherfucker in the front. You see? And so,
exactly.
the European becomes that much more fearful when they know that we don't need leaders anymore. They know that we had this leadership complex thing. Where are our leaders today? Where are our leaders? Motherfucker, you're the leader. She's the leader. Everybody in here is a motherfucking leader in their own regard. And see, that's the problem. We're still thinking in terms of 1965. Start thinking in terms of 2015. Y'all niggas are far behind. Catch the fuck up. So, in regards to that, you know, I will be humbled, but again, I'm not here to be another Jesus figure for you niggas. Y'all just need to wake the fuck up and group the fuck up and act the fuck up and kill these motherfucking Europeans, period. That's the message. I'm not about to sit here and preach to you black capitalism, which is black economics, although that is necessary. I'm not about to sit here and teach you a whole re-education process that the African needs to go to or go through, although that is necessary. I'm looking at the end game. And the end game has shown in every motherfucking revolution that a person's head has had to come off its body. Period. That's the only way you're gonna get your freedom and liberation and salvation. There is no other way.
Exactly.
So
I mean, we got to get more militant. Go ahead, say what you're saying.
What'd you say?
I was saying, I thought you were finishing something, but I was just saying that that's what it is. We need to get more militant and get out there and stop being so passive. Like, you so passively, you know, this is my thing. We shoot each other, and then we so passively get into the back of the police car. So where's all that gangster at when the police come? You know what I'm saying? That same sort of militant and that same sort of regard that you have for your brother, that needs to be taken out on your true enemy. Any other fight outside of the fight with your true enemy is distracting. But what do you guys think? Call up 323-410-0036. We have Koven, a.k.a. Eric Sheppard, on the line doing this thing. Now, I'm calling you Koven, man, because, you know, these news medias are not respecting that at all. They're just calling you the government name, and I know because that's how they do when you get to the news media. You know, they're saying they put your whole name out there. So what can you tell us about Koven, and where'd you get that from?
Well, actually, it's pronounced Koven, brother. I didn't mean to make you go that long.
My bad.
saying it, but yeah, it's Koven. And but it is actually a fix on how you were saying it, which is Koven, which is spelled Coven. And when you study what a coven is simply a gathering of witches and warlocks and things, or rather a gathering of spiritual beings. And so that gathering of spiritual beings is the divine council of all that is. And so when you're understanding that when black people come into their spiritual essence, or when they come into their natural spiritual self, because no revolution can change until the spirit first changes or the mind changes. This is the prerequisite to any revolution. The spirit of the people has to be shifted. The spirit of the people has to be gathered. So Koven is essentially speaking to that prelude or that prerequisite, that initial pop-off state of the revolution. So that's essentially what it is.
I could dig it, and you know what? We have lost our whole spirituality thing. You know, I think that what's happening right now through hip-hop, what's happening right now is people are regaining it on a subconscious level. They're accessing it, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're seeing right now is like the reemergence of that, the reawakening of these warriors that have come back, you know. So we're seeing that right now more than ever, and that's what I think is that energy. I think is going to propel us, you know, to another level and take it to another level. But what do you guys think? Call up 323-410-0036. Now, I want to talk more about the militancy because it's like, you know, we get so distracted by you know, by trinkets like the iPhone or, you know, what's going on Instagram and all that other stuff. Now, do you think that we need to get onto the gun training thing and get that popping more in our community, or what's your thoughts on that?
Of course. Dr. Umar preaches, he says this has to be a necessary science for black people, military science. There's a reason why they don't teach you this. There's a reason why they don't teach you the art of, as he says, military takeover, regime overthrow. Why? Because that's the functional change that society needs. That's the natural component of any revolution. And so they can't teach their subjects how to be revolutionary. Yes, it is a necessary science. So, you know, we have everything else. We have, you know, you got niggas still want to study meta. You still got niggas want to study all types of other abstract, esoteric shit. But when it comes down to the shit that you actually need to do, niggas don't know what the fuck to do. So yes, any, you know, not just firearm training, but all other types of training. Because we have to understand the European doesn't just have firearms to annihilate Africans. At least in terms of physical warfare. Although there's a psychological and a spiritual warfare that's even more great than those things. But in terms of the physical warfare, we're dealing with superior technology in almost all regards, as opposed to what Africans have all over the planet Earth. So even besides firearms and other things like that, hell, well, we have to measure that up against a nuclear arm. How do we deal with that? You see, how do we match that? How do we counter-check the European in that superior armament right there? Well, the only way to check that is to have something of equal or greater value. So why do you think that Russia is not afraid of America sending off their nukes? Because they know they have some nukes to send off too, and America knows it as well. And the best way to bring about peace most of the damn time is to let your enemy know you are ready to meet them full force without compromise. And so, we can get up on the firearm thing, but, you know, these crackers still got drones and nuclear armament. Now, that's not to be, you know, at all, you know, a discouraging of the African, because I know you got a lot of niggas, well, they got, you know, superior arms. That still doesn't mean you back down. Don't become a pussy because they have superior arms. You got to understand, you're still working with your spirit as well. Exactly. That's something they can't make, even with all the superior arms. What'd you say?
I said, just like what happened in Vietnam, you know, they had a lot of superior technology that we were bombing. The U.S. was bombing Vietnam, and they still won because they had the other technology. You know what I'm saying? They had that spiritual technology. They had an underground network, and they had resilience. You know what I'm saying? And so they were able to defeat America because they were able to do that. And America had better firearms. And they were implementing a form of, you know, they were implementing guerrilla warfare. They were working with nature to help them in that fight. They weren't fighting how America usually fights its wars, through overwhelming force, overwhelming ground force at that, just a sweeping force. But when you're dealing with, you know, guerrilla warfare, you're dealing with tactical warfare. You're dealing with warfare that is intrinsic, or that is working with nature and using nature to your advantage. So whenever you're, again, like Dr. Umar and several others say, whenever you're outnumbered and outmanned and outgunned and you're by yourself, you have to use nature to your benefit. Now, I won't go into the tactics. This is something that you really have to discuss in private amongst brothers and sisters, and I know this is a public airway, and I'll be very wise about what I say in regards to that, because I wouldn't want to give up the, you know, any plans or any tactics that we could use over public airways. So, you know, this is something that you talk about more so in private, but do understand that, you know, it's still a general fact that's pretty well known, or it should be known. Whenever you're outgunned, outmanned, you do have to revert to guerrilla warfare. However, at the point in which we're going, both guerrilla warfare and confrontational conventional warfare both have to be implemented. Because guerrilla warfare has its benefits, but it also has its downfall. But conventional upfront, you know, confrontational warfare is also necessary. So you have to learn how to start implementing both, but conventional
conventional confrontational warfare comes with the nation building aspect of building this global black nation. And so if we don't have that, we're not going to be able to legitimize our political boundaries, which means we're not going to be able to legitimize an actual fortified military force. Which means now, you know, the funding and everything else that goes into maintaining a military is not going to be there.
Exactly.
So we have to start to implement both forms of warfare, because guerrilla warfare is not going to be enough, but it is necessary. But it's only necessary, again, when you're outmanned. But this is not just a national war. We understand that we are the global minority. So it's very important that we start to repatriate with our brothers and sisters, especially back in the homeland and elsewhere, all over the planet. Because again, we are approaching not only the destruction of America, but an imminent World War III, which is going to be between Africans, indigenous people all over the planet, and Europeans.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I don't think they heard you with that. What is the World War III scenario? Because I don't think they're. I want people to really get into the mind state of, you know, what is coming, what we're seeing. So can you please just, that last line again? Can you just give it to them one more time, man? Let them know what's going to happen.
Well, this is something again that Dr. Umar has even said himself. World War III will be the war to end all wars. World War III will be the war to end white supremacy and the white race. Because you're not just it's not just about eliminating a system, it's about eliminating that whole motherfucking race. But World War III will be a war to end all wars, and it will be between the African or all oppressed people on the planet Earth, for that matter, and the European, who is the oppressor all over the damn planet. That is the war right there. And it will involve all nations on the planet Earth. Because all nations are coming to a realization of who their common enemy is, even for other non-Africans. Although every non-African is an enemy of the African, inevitably it's still going to be the African versus the European. In a very basic and general context, that's what it's coming to. And for many respects and regards, that will be World War IV, because the actual World War was European imperialism. The first World War was the act of European imperialism when Europeans first stepped out. They don't dub that as World War I, but that involved global nations, several nations all over the planet. World War I was actually World War II. World War II was actually World War III, but now we're approaching World War IV, which will end what the initial World War I started, which is European imperialism. So as it came in, so it shall go out. If it came in through global genocide, it will go out through global genocide of those who initiated this.
That's powerful, because people are, you know, they don't see that picture. They don't see exactly what's happening right now. You know, they're just paying their taxes. They're just going to work. They're just doing this, and people, we're in a war right now. What do you guys think? We got 10 minutes in the live stream, so right now is the time to call up 323-410-0036. I have a lot of people online to get to, as many people as possible. 214, you're on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven. What is your thoughts on the Eric Sheppard challenge, or what Koven was just saying?
Hey, this is Cordelia, an organizer for CMXB in Dallas. I just wanted to go a little further. I just kind of wanted to touch bases on the military state of mind we're talking about. We may not be on the ground yet, but we need to realize that we are still in a war. And we need to realize that we have to be calculated and we have to be deliberate in everything that we do. And I think that's where we're going wrong. It's like we're preparing for the revolution, but it's already upon us. Like, we got to have our minds on the same page and on the same regard before we put the boots on the ground. It's got to be planned out to the T. Like, we got to be able to be very deliberate in the moves that we make. So I definitely wanted to, say shout out to Eric Sheppard. I definitely appreciate your efforts, brother. And, we just got to get on the same page and get calculated.
Oh, yeah, always, sister. I appreciate you.
No doubt, no doubt. Big time shout out to CMXD. The movement's going down in Dallas. So you guys hashtag CMXD to see what's going down in your area. In Atlanta, we're meeting at 1386 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Nasi's temple. If you guys aren't familiar with Nasi, he's a community leader that's on the front lines. So you guys get familiar with him and come out and we're going to have this discussion. It's going to be a lot more elevated too. We're going to get really into what we need to do and take those steps right then and there. So May 20th is going to be a brand new day in America. 256, what is your thoughts on the Eric Sheppard Challenge or what Koven was just saying right there?
I'm just really learning most of the stuff I learned about it. I spoke with you earlier today. I'm one of the brothers incarcerated. We got a movement going on inside these prisons. We're trying to spread consciousness and awareness around the country for the brothers that are incarcerated. And just seeing the challenge and understanding that it's more than just a symbolism. It's more than just stepping on a flag. There's a message behind those actions, and that's the part that I hope that people see and understand and recognize that it's not just stepping on the flag as a some kind of show. It's actually a revolutionary concept and ideology behind that. And I just wanted to post my comment out by saying that we reach out to all conscious revolutionary organizations, people, and I can identify with a lot of things he's saying about these false concepts about the savior complex and looking for someone to save us. There's a lot of oppression that go on inside these prison walls, and a lot of people be looking for someone else to come and save us. So it's good to hear voices from people. But, again, we're looking to bring that voice on the inside of the prison because that's a message that's not being promoted on the inside. There's a disconnect between the movement in society and the movements on the inside. And we're constantly letting people know that we're in here fighting also. Our neck, we're in there, and literally our head, bodies, and soul is inside the lion's mouth, but we still fighting nonetheless. And so I just wanted to put that message out there. Free Alabama movement, Free Mississippi movement. We're reaching out to other states, and we're constantly saying, bring the organizing to the prisons, because we are part of this struggle also. And I'll leave it at that. I'll conclude with that.
Indeed, brother. Indeed.
All right, no doubt, man. And, hey, that conversation earlier, man, was definitely progressive, man. Link up with me. I think Vanessa had sent me some links to you on the Facebook, man. So big time salute to you and everything that's going down out there.
I got the links and whatnot, and I got the number to the radio show. But we're looking for some direct contact. We're trying to link up and get some activity going, because there's people in here ready, like I said, to play their part and do our role in this revolution. Because we see what's going on too. And my phone number is area code 256. Oh, you probably got it from the monitor from looking on the screen. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got it. I'm actually writing it down right now, but I didn't have you
trying to link up. It's a lot of people doing a lot of talking. They talking the revolutionary talk and, waving the revolutionary flag and throwing their fist up, but they don't even seem to know about what mass incarceration is, and I don't understand how people can be in the black communities around all of our people and all of our families, and they're not organizing around this issue also, because it's just not adding up. But like I said, you got the number, we hear the message, everything sounds good. We want to link up with those who understand that the struggle extends beyond the box and inside these concentration camps and prisons also.
All right, that's what it is, man. No doubt. Now, what is your thoughts on black supremacy versus white supremacy? Is that black supremacy needed in this conversation? Do we need to interject that in the conversation? You know, because the people want to talk about white supremacy. There is no white supremacy. They just have guns, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think that's a discussion that needs to be had?
You asking me, brother?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, white supremacy in context versus black supremacy. What is black supremacy and what is white supremacy? Well, still, when you're looking at it, one is practical and one is theoretical. And it's obvious which one is practical, which is white supremacy. That's what's actually being practiced. Black supremacy, which again, we need to reiterate, is not white supremacy in reverse. Black people really, for the most part, aren't interested in enslaving white people. Really, for most revolutionaries, we're almost solely invested in killing you, period. But black supremacy is more so invested in black people, as, again, Dr. Umar states, because he's very brilliant. Black supremacy is invested in black people being supreme over their own destiny, being supreme over their own selves. It's not white supremacy in reverse. It's not black people having white chattel slaves. No. It's black people being invested wholeheartedly in maintaining the power over their own existence. White supremacy. Now you said you know, there is no white supremacy. I guess I don't know what you meant by that, but I do have to assert and state again that it is systematic, and it's a global system put down by a people who classify themselves as white. So when we're looking at black supremacy versus white supremacy, one is real and one isn't. Black people aren't supreme over their own destiny, but white supremacy, which is the enslavement of every other race by white people, essentially the domination of every other race by white people, that's actually what is being practiced on the planet Earth today. And that is the source of all global oppression, whether you know it or not. Racism is the source of all global oppression.
I hear you. Now I'm going to get another call on the line. Hold on. Let me see. Because a lot of people are on the line calling right now. You could call up. There's only one more minute left in the live stream, you guys, and we're going to be going into after show. That means you have to call up now. 323-410-0036, or you will be hearing this in the archives. I know you want to call up. 317, we got you on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven. What is your thoughts on the Eric Sheppard challenge, or what's this thing?
Hello, I'm on the line?
This is Paul Metal Star, but yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
317.
I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah, this is true. All right, so this is 7 Nubian. You know, I'm a Pan-Africanist. You know, I'm a follower of Dr. Umar. I'm a follower of Sarah Sunseti. I believe in being unapologetically black at all times. You know, when it comes to Eric Sheppard, I actually posted something about the brother today, not knowing that show was going to go on. And, yeah, brother, we standing solid with you, you know. We can't, you know, hope everything is good with you. You know, I know the government got hella satellites and bullshit. And, you know, whatever happens, just know it's not in vain, you feel me? And I do respect that you put yourself out on the front line like that. Damn, somebody sent me a damn text. All right, I'm Salam.
Yeah, I'm here.
I do respect that you put yourself out there on the front line, you know, because a lot of people are scared to do that. A lot of young people are scared to do that, you know. And we'll be rocking with you, man. I'm out here in Oakland. I'm from Gary, Indiana. You know, so I seen the Klan firsthand more than one time in my life. You know what I'm saying? I've been chewed up by dogs, so I see what you're doing, and I respect it, and we with you.
Oh yeah, most deaf, brother, most deaf.
All right, that's what it is, man. Big thanks to you, man. We're gonna keep that moving though, and also I want to let people know that I am playing. There's a couple of tracks from an artist that will be performing at the Claim Malcolm X Day rally in Atlanta by the name of Tanuki. We're going to be playing one of his tracks and also a new track from True God. We will be playing that track at the end of the show. So you guys definitely want to stay on and hear that and listen to that. But I want to get into this conversation and talk about where do our warriors need to be at right now? Like, you know, as far as battling and stuff like that. Like, do we need to have more like a communal living thing with the warriors, or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because to me it seems like white supremacy and delusion of white supremacy gets you when you're isolated. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's when the cops want to pull you over, and, you know, all these incidents you hear about with police terrorism usually happen when it's one person, or, you know what I'm saying, against like a ton of cops or whatever. So do you think that we need to stand more together, you know, have the goon squad on deck? Because I'll tell you, just me personally, you know, I don't roll without, you know, 2-3 people at least. You know what I'm saying? That I see makes the devil back down a little bit once he sees, you know, you got some numbers rolling with you. But do you think that we need to do that and unite more and get more into that?
Well, yes, of course. Every community, every revolutionary group should have some military organization about itself. Every organization that we've had, especially within our recent history, has had some form of military organization, because that's intrinsic to the science of nation building. No nation on the planet Earth is without a military of some form, because every nation understands it has resources of value, both human and natural resources that are of value. Thus, we need a military to protect it, because if you don't, 9 times out of 10, another nation who is seeking to acquire that which they may not have in their nation, but they see in your nation, they'll come in if they know that you don't have a military force or a very weak military force. And so this is why our communities are very easily infiltrated, because we don't have a military force to check and to balance these white supremacist forces coming from outside. So yes, like you said, yes, you do need the goon squad wherever you're going. If you got to, you know what I'm saying, even if you're just going down the street, gather up a few of your niggas, and boom, we're going to make this move to the store. We have to start to move in collectives, even if it's just 2 of y'all. And we have to start to be on call for one another. Because just as a military, you're on call at all times, 24/7. We have to get that in our minds as well. White supremacy does not sleep. And if it does sleep, it's ready to still be on call. You know, white supremacy is still on standby. White supremacists, I'll say, are still on standby. So, yes, you always need some form of military organization, even if it's just you and your homie rolling to the store. And you're not rolling unarmed. And like I always say, it's very foolish for a black man in America to not be armed. You are constantly behind enemy lines. I mean, armed in every sense, not just physically, with physical arms, but armed in every way possible. You're behind enemy lines, and you think it's okay to walk outside without your armament. You think that has to be like your third arm. That has to be like your third arm. I don't get why black people are still fearful of firearms, or not becoming knowledgeable of things that can help to save their lives, and not just firearms. Although I'm speaking in a very physical sense, I'm putting this conversation in the context of physical warfare. But it must be understood that the physical war is just as important as every other war, or every other form of war. But we tend to negate it and tend to want to run away from it, because it's the most real, it's the most potent. Because most people can't stomach the sight of death, the sight of killing. Most people can't stomach what it means to actually be free. Freedom means to kill your oppressor. Killing your oppressor. As in when someone dies or someone is killed and their life is ended, that's what it means to be free. So this is why Malcolm would say, if you truly knew what revolution meant, why you wouldn't even speak of it. You would shut your mouth if you actually knew what it meant. So let's not romanticize revolution anymore. Let's shut the fuck up and let's start to act. Because we sound very good over these airwaves. We sound very good over these airwaves saying all this nice shit. We need to do this, and this sounds good, and we need to do that, brother, sister, whatever. Cool. But when you get to the nitty-gritty, when your ass stand up and kill, and like Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, niggas always been saying, I'll die for this, I'll die for this. Well, nigga, when you gonna stop dying and when you gonna start killing for this? It's a fucking difference. When you gonna start killing for this shit? And again, as you said, it's medicine in the murder. It's healing in the killing. It's healing in that. We're compensating them for the 400 years here and the 2,000 to 3,000 plus years elsewhere that we were enslaved under white supremacy in some form or another. You're totally justified in killing any European on the planet Earth. There is no such thing as an innocent European. And especially for you Bible thumpers who want to say that, well, they're not responsible for what their foremothers and forefathers did. That's a damn lie. Because even your damn Bible speaks of children inheriting the sins of their fathers and their mothers.
Yep.
Ain't no such thing as no little innocent cracker baby. That little cracker is a devil too. Because only devils give birth to devils, right? It's in their nature. It's tapped into their genetic memory. Ain't no such thing as no good European, no well-to-do European, no benevolent white person. Ain't no such thing. Like Dr. Umar said, any nigga still saying there's good white people is a good Negro people. He's a good little nigga. Ain't no such thing as no motherfucking good European. So ain't gonna be no more of that motherfucking rhetoric in 2015 and going forward. Y'all need to wake the fuck up. This is what it is. Stop looking for no good white people.
Exactly. And that's the sort of conversation that we're going to be having on Malcolm X Day in Atlanta. Not only talk, but also action, because patient putting is a conversation held while walking. I do want to get to some more callers. 404, you're on the line with Koven and 2RAW4TV. 404.
Black Power, young brothers, young warriors.
Black.
I just wanted to commend the both of you on how well you sound this evening. Please keep telling everyone the realness of what we are as a people and what we need to do. Your age, era, and what have you, they need to hear what you're saying, brothers. It's so clear that you understand what we are under here and what we need to do to get things in control so we can prevail.
Right.
And I just want to commend you, Koven. I feel a connection to you, young brother. I'm so glad the ancestors have brought you here to speak your words and share what your wisdom. And I just wanted to tell you thank you. And Abibi for Houdier. Black Power, young men.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
Good night.
I appreciate you as well.
All right, peace. Stay on the line, because if you hang up, you're not going to be able to hear the rest of this conversation. So stay on the line. You calling from Atlanta, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, no doubt. Atlanta in the building. That's what it is.
Yep, Atlanta got you down. Just stay the way you staying. Stay the way you staying, bruh. That's all I want to know. I want to tell you.
Always.
All right, you guys stay good. Good night.
Good night.
All right, good night. 410, we got you on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven. What is your thoughts on the Eric Sheppard challenge?
First of all, I want to greet Koven. I want to say peace, God.
Peace.
I've been honored to actually be featured on Koven's Instagram page, me and my queen. And from that connection, I really started to study who Koven was. And then I saw him on the news one day, speaking the truth. And it was encouraging. It was very encouraging. And I'm not sure how old Koven is. I'm 28, and I'm from Baltimore. So I was down here really observing the rise of what they call the Black Messiah. And I guess my thing was, people are asking, about what you need, right? And, who our warrior class is or who the warriors are. And what I saw down here in Baltimore was a whole bunch of young kids that fought off one of the largest oppressive forces I've ever seen in Baltimore, and they fought them off the rock. Granted, it was just a staged event, but yet the heart that these kids showed was the energy and the spirit, as Koven's talking about, that we need to, fight this front on many battles. So my comment, or what I want to project, or what I want to manifest through this conversation, is in some way, Koven, can you enlighten the people or enlighten the young warriors who are listening now, who fully don't understand the spiritual nature of this war, and kind of give them some tips on how they can go about preparing themselves to fight this beast and become gods and become, the Christ and the Black Messiahs that, white supremacy has been, trying to suppress for, so long.
Right. I can definitely speak on that. Now, at the center of every warfare for African people, especially in regards to European supremacy, spirituality has to be at the center of that. Spirituality, or rather our tactics, our methodologies, have to be centered around our spiritual nature. It has to be erected on top of our law, which is our existence. And so what you have to understand, before we go out here, and again, I'll quote Dr. Umar, before we can go out here and smash on the European, we have to smash that European within our mind. And so we can't go out here through blind aggression, yes, because we see what the European is doing to us physically, killing us dead in the street, kidnapping us right off the street. But how are you acting when you're not in the presence of a European? Are you still acting like you're oppressor? And so, yeah, you may have had a few brothers and sisters going out there in rage and anger, as they should have done. And I do encourage that they keep doing it and attacking the European. But when you go back home, how are you treating your family? How are you treating your other brothers and sisters? Are you even getting along with them outside of or off of the battlefield? The physical battlefield, that is. Mm-hmm. So our spirituality has to be centered in our nature. But even when we're outside of the European's presence, we still act in the nature of what the European oppressor has put down in our mind. Just in context to speak on it, our brothers and sisters, we got to wake up. The war is also within your household. The war is within the so-called schooling system. The war is at your workplace. The war is everywhere. The war is even when you're by yourself, thinking your own thoughts. What thoughts are you thinking? Are you thinking about ways to be complacent in this society? Are you thinking about ways to better or reform this society? Because this society does not need reformation. It needs destruction, period. It does not need reformation. It's an ugly beast anyway. You don't try to reform something that was made ugly from the get-go. You destroy it, and you build anew from there. Just like with old buildings in the hood that crumble. They don't try to reform that building. They tear that whole damn thing down. They even clear the damn foundation of it. Move all the rubble off, discard it, and build anew. This is an old crumbled building that we're living in with a weak foundation. It needs to be destroyed. You don't try to reform the society. But that comes along with spirituality. Spirituality is always constantly refining yourself or redoing yourself or revolutionizing yourself. And so when we get into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, revolution is what? Meaning a 180 approach to what you have done. Not 360, but 180. 180 meaning turning away from where you had been and going in the opposition or the diametric opposition of where you once were. So yes, our brothers and sisters have to realize that, yes, although you are attacking the European on the physical level, are you still attacking that European within your mind? Are you attacking the religion that the white man has put down on you? Because yes, that is necessary. Are you attacking the economic structure? Are you attacking your proclivity to want to draw towards his economic structure? Are you questioning at all times what the European has told you about history, about whatever it may be, about culture? Hell, are you even questioning culture in general? Like some basic things that, you know, now that I'm hitting on in my personal life as well, but that I'm starting to act on as well. Are we even questioning how we intermingle with one another, even in our marital structures? Monogamy. Because monogamy was not a dominant marital practice in Africa. And we know so much that Christianity came along with the European, but so did the influx of monogamy. So why is polygamy necessary for the African, especially here in America? Because it suits our economic interests, our existential, our biological interests. It suits everything. Our cultural interests, everything. And I know it's going to be very hard for many, especially for many of our sisters, because polygyny is actually the best way for us to get out of this, crux. As far as intimacy goes, because polygyny will help to further the race. It will expedite the production of our own race. And so we have to question things like this.
Exactly.
And not just question. Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say not just question, but actually act against everything that the European has put down. You do the exact opposite. So, yes, if the European is practicing monogamy, you should do the exact opposite, which is polygamy. But that's what you have been doing already before European imperialism. I know as many of our revolutionary brothers and sisters still don't get that. It's a whole different culture that he put down. There's a reason why divorce rate is besides us hating each other, black men and black women hating each other. There's another reason why divorce doesn't work, or I mean not divorce, but monogamous marriage doesn't work in the black community. It doesn't fit our natural communal values that we have. It doesn't fit it. It's built on greed, just as every other system is. Monogamy deals with you and me and nobody else, right?
Yeah.
Exclusiveness, keeping everyone else out, right? But it's not sharing of the natural resources. It's not sharing of the love. It's not sharing of what we need to be. So,
exactly.
You know, we have to act in a complete opposition to the non-consciousness that the European has forced us into. And it does start with the family, and that's a family science. Because again, like KRS-One said on the Hidden Colors, every nation is just a building block of families. But if our building blocks are built on monogamous relationships, then we're going to have a weak motherfucking nation. Why is that? Well, one, naturally, women outnumber men, just by nature. Exclude the social factor of white supremacy. By nature, women outnumber men. XX is dominant to XY, right? But now you include white supremacy, you include that social factor, And then you look at who's the primary target of white supremacy, which is who? The black male, who's supposed to be the defender of the black nation. Because then after you destroy the defender of the black nation, the women and the children just become the spoils of war. They're easy to take over. That's nothing. But you have to destroy the fortified barriers, which are the men. So now when we had before, just in the natural circumstances where we might have had 4-to-1 or even just 2-to-1, now we're dealing with 5 to 10-to-1, black women to black men. So if all of you want to be satisfied, if everybody wants to, be seek to marriage or to be engaged in some form of a marriage, have a significant other, every woman cannot have one man, even if white supremacy did not exist. Many people think monogamy has always been. That shows our indoctrination into the culture. We think it's just so natural. It's not. Monogamy really isn't a natural marital practice. It's an unnatural marital practice. Because even outside of Africa, polygyny was the dominant marital practice before European imperialism. So,
exactly.
Time back, I didn't mean to go off on an extreme tangent, but hello?
No. You're good, man. You're good. And people need to hear this because this is where we need to go. This is the steps I'm talking about we need to take. You know what I'm saying? If you're in Atlanta, we will be building on this discussion May 19th, Claim Malcolm X Day, which is it's going to be rallied upon and celebrated worldwide. We're not asking permission to claim a day for our progressive leaders. We're taking it, and we're taking the rest of our 364 days as well. That's just one step. I do want to get a lot of the callers on the line have been holding on steady. 979, you're on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven. 979.
Oh, hello?
Yes.
What's up, brother?
Hello? Yeah, I'd like to say Ashe, peace. I was just wondering, they got these memes going around.
Hello?
They got the memes going. Are you still on the line? 979.
Call back in, brother.
All right. 210, we got you on the line with 214, we got you on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven.
I was just playing.
What happened?
214? 214, can you hear me? All right. Okay. I'm about to put another 214 on there. 407. 407, you're on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven.
Hi,
what do you
this morning?
Hello? This? Yes.
This is Abraham. Hello?
Who is this?
This is Abraham.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
So, yeah, I just wanted to make a comment about the Eric Sheppard challenge with the flag. I heard the audio y'all played of some politician that was really wanting to push for more aggressive laws to punish for that stuff, but the Supreme Court has already ruled that flag burning and basically desecration of the flag falls under First Amendment protection. So what that indicates is that if they want to basically punish for a constitutionally protected right, they're basically, that's another act of war. They're just giving examples. They're just basically putting us on notice that, look, we're coming after you, and it's going to be soon, really. After Obama leaves office, that's what I suspect. But another thing I'm going to comment on is what the warriors do, and one of the things that we can do is just organize acts that'll undermine, things, like simple things like, brothers can get together and say, look, we ain't gonna empty their trash. We're just not gonna empty it. If you think of all the trash men and how many of them are black, right? And they just say we're not gonna empty your trash, and they organize that. I mean, that's a simple act, but it can cause damage, because now you gotta hire more people to do it, and the people that you will hire, either they're going to be illegal immigrants or they're going to be white people demanding higher pay, so they have a political dilemma on their hands. So another thing is we should basically have a system to where anytime brother or sister is being encountered by a police person, we just converge on that area and observe. And as soon as they lay hands or harm that person, we converge on them, And basically, exactly. That's as simple as that, And that just lets them know, you can't do that,
Absolutely. And I want to share an experience with me just happened the other day, where a police officer had approached one of my comrades and thought he was alone. And, he was going off and acting real aggressively. And at one point, he even put his hand on his weapon. And I came and confronted the officer and was like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of threw him off guard. And he started backing down after that. I pulled out the camera, you know what I'm saying? He started acting like he's nice. His voice changed and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
He was he was acting real cordial then, like, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and all this other stuff, but where was that before? When the police terrorism, you could start seeing that coming up. So I'm glad you said that. When they pull one of us over, 10 cars need to come down right there, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about.
And you're right when you said about, they're able to pick us off one by one. All of those incidences, people were alone. But see, even so, some of those incidences, there were people around, and yes, someone should be supporting, but also someone should be there as defense in case that police officer gets out of pocket. Someone's there to respond appropriately. And if you think about it, you don't ever hear of black officers shooting down white people. Is it because black officers are more moral than, white officers? I don't think so. They just know that they can't get away with it. And why wouldn't they get away with it? Exactly. Well, because that whole community of white people will stand by and protect that white person, regardless of if he's wrong or not. But see, we don't have that solidarity or camaraderie in our community, and that's what we need, We got more than enough resources to really change things. What we need is the organization.
I agree 1,000% with you. And not only that, I'm going to even put it out there like this. We need people to, like King Noble was saying earlier, we need people to boycott jail, boycott prison. Don't go to jail. We so willingly just go to jail. I'm not going to jail because of your opinion, because you think I deserve to go to jail. Nah. You know what I'm saying? We're about to battle it out over a traffic ticket. I don't care. You're going to be going to hell. You know what I'm sending cops to hell. I'm not going to jail. You know what I'm saying? And if I had 100 people stand in solidarity with me, we could change this country overnight. No problem. But everybody wants to go under. They go on the back of the police car, like it's you know what I'm saying, like it's a new Bugatti or something like that.
Here's the thing. You know, I'm all for exercising any option that's going to progress things, and so I mean, there's other tactics. I think I told you about. You know, supporting each other the whole way. You know, so first you're going to come in contact with the police officer. There's an expert in search and support. So people need to follow through and go to the trials people and see these people get run through by the court system. Just go to court one day, right? Go to court one day and just sit in there. And what you'll see is most of the people that's in there that's getting funneled through, one, you'll notice is black. Notice is you won't really see many trials. What you'll see is a whole bunch of plea deals. You'll see lines of people lining up to make and that's the thing. The reason why they can do that don't really make a representation. You know, and so when we go in there and observe this, the courts don't look like law courts. They look like fast food operations. You know, I've seen the judge say, okay, if you're here to make a deal, get in this line. If you're here because you need a lawyer, get in this line. And it's like a factory type thing, you know, a process through of people to be sheared. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have an organization that I'm developing to where I teach people how to exercise their rights and teach people how to exercise legal standing in the court. But the thing is, it'll only work by solidarity. So I'm all for, you know, attacking on many different fronts. You know, any way possible to undermine the whole thing, I'm all for it, you know. So
no doubt, family, and I appreciate you calling in, man. Stay on the line because you got to. If you want to hear this revolutionary conversation live, we're going in. Got Koven, a.k.a. Eric Sheppard of the Eric Sheppard Challenge, here with us. And now, did you think this thing would go viral like it has, Koven?
Would I have expected that it went viral? I can say in some regards I would have expected it. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I can say, in some regards I would have expected it to go viral because of the action that was taken, where it was taken, and how it was taken. Because, I mean, people have been desecrating the flag. I mean, this is common knowledge. People have been desecrating the flag long before I even stepped on it on the Valdosta State campus. And they've been doing worse than that because all I did was step on it. All I did was walk over it. Other people burn it, urinate on it, shit on it, whatever. But for it to go viral, it went viral because Valdosta in itself is a good old little cracker town. It's a conventional cracker town, right down the street from a military base. So, so in regards to doing it where I did it, I guess in that regards I would have expected it to go viral, but viral, you know, under these conditions, I didn't necessarily factor that in initially, but once it came to be, you know, I saw that indeed was a reality that was imminent based on what I had done.
I feel you now, because it has created a life of its own, you know. And people are doing it. I know I did it on my Instagram page, and I know thousands and thousands of people are doing it all over the country. So it's an amazing thing to start seeing that sort of defiance, you know, in real time. You know what I'm saying? It's causing a lot of uproar, and it plays their card, and you like see the enemy get mad. You know, you see them get mad, and it's funny to me. I encourage more people to do that. Hashtag Eric Sheppard Challenge and participate in that. 513, you're on. Hold on.
Oh,
513, you're on the line. The 2RAW4TV and Koven. What's your thoughts on the Eric Sheppard Challenge? All right. Let me get to some more.
Hey, brother.
Yes.
Brother, is it okay before you click somebody in, if I could comment further on this challenge? Now, I had spoke with a brother earlier today, and we had much of the same common reasoning in regards to the challenge. And yes, I do love the promotion of what it has done. I do love what attention it has brought to this issue. But we have to keep in mind, and we have to bear in mind that it is more than just a challenge. It is more than just a hashtag, and it's definitely more than just about Eric Sheppard. It's definitely more than about myself. It's about the entire race and the existence of the race. So we have to always consider, what are we doing? Who is the beneficiary? Who is the loser? Because in essence, yes, the challenge is bringing much attention, but at the same time, it's not bringing functional change to what we need. It's being done on social media, you see, a medium which white people control. So all of this energy that is spent in putting, and broadcasting this message, sure, that's fine, but what are we actually doing behind the scenes when it comes to it? The real challenge is African liberation. That's the real motherfucking challenge. We need not be consumed in just stepping on a damn flag. Because the flag is an inanimate object. It's inanimate. Who made the flag? Who carries that flag? Who kills by that flag? The European. So like I said out there on the campus that day, why aren't you putting your boot on that cracker's neck? I'm not sure if the media gave y'all that, but I was emphasizing it's more than just about this motherfucking flag. Fuck the flag. It's whatever. It is what it is. That was really just to piss off crackers, but not for niggas to make it into a fad. Now, the sister that popped it off, I do appreciate her. I spoke to her a couple of days ago, and I do appreciate her boldness in stepping out and making it a challenge and bringing awareness to it. But it's about what's actually happening behind it, which is African people dying. You see what I'm saying? So again, the real challenge is African liberation. And the way you participate in that challenge is killing the European. So I don't know if many of you niggas want to do that challenge.
All right, hashtag African Liberation Challenge. Let's do that. Let's do that.
So,
African Liberation Challenge.
It's a responsibility thing that we're looking at now. And don't get me wrong, I do love the support, and I do love what you all are doing in regards to this Eric Sheppard Challenge. But keep in mind that it is not about stepping on the flag. It is not about that. It's about saving the race and bringing actual functional change to the people. So the real challenge, again, as I reiterate, is African liberation. And the way you participate in that is to kill the European. That's something you can't broadcast on social media.
No, without a level of resistance, you need a level of resistance if you want to do that. But 214, we got you on the line with Koven and 2RAW4TV. 214.
This brother Osiris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This brother Osiris out in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
As far as that challenge, I mean, I think it's a good thing for people that really that are really sick and tired of being sick and tired, and really want to put their on the crack's neck, as you say. I'm the chairman of the United Federation of Melanated People, and we're hosting a convention in Washington. And what we're trying to do is bring everyone together, because there's so many of us and that are afraid to really do something like you say. I heard y'all talking about the Facebook revolutionaries and the social media revolutionaries, but it's time to actually do something for real, do something tangible, and quit talking about it and actually do something. That's why I like what the brother did. When I saw it the first time, I was like, wow. And I knew right then and there that they was going to try to, bring some propaganda to go against the young brother. We want to get out here. We want to mobilize, man. We want to get everybody, every organization together as a unit, just like they did in 9/11, September 11th, and because they had a loss of communications or whatever, and now all the intelligent organizations have to come together so they can share their information. And that's what I want to do as far as with the United Federation of Melanated People. All the groups come together. I mean, some of us can't do what others do. Some of us won't take the steps that we'll take. But whatever any one of us can do, we should be coordinated in that effort. And I like what the brother did. He came out. He was strong. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did it. And some of us are just not gonna do that. Some of us are just too afraid to either lose their job, get kicked out of school, or anything. So I support him. And I just feel like if we all coordinate our efforts into knowing who the enemy is, because we all got so many different factions of us as black people, and I see what separates us the most is religion, and the white man used that to capitalize on us, and if we could focus on the one enemy, I think we would be a more productive race.
Exactly. Very true, brother.
Yeah, we need to focus on that enemy, man. We definitely do, because there's so many things that separates me from you. I might not agree with everything you say, but I agree with this. I agree with the enemy. I know who that is. I know who got their foot on my neck. So if everybody can agree on that and be able to share information, our group really want to build like another sort of Black Wall Street, and not just one. We want to build it all over the United States, not just in the U.S., all across the world. So if we could share information and police ourselves, that would be much better. But, Brother Sheppard will go all the way and say, hey, they need to be gone. Hey, that's cool too, because I know that's the enemy. If they could turn away and let us be, that's one thing. But they not. They
right.
So that's all I want to say. I won't keep y'all too long.
Oh yeah, brother.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Y'all still on the line?
Yeah, I'm on the line.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say, I would definitely like to link with you, brother, if you could get in touch with Paul Meadow after the show, and shoot him your information. I'll get it from him. We can definitely link.
Okay. What is your name again, family? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is your name again? I know you have the United Federation of Melanated People. What's your name?
Osiris, I'm in Ra.
All right,
okay. Okay.
I got you. I will be linking up with you soon. I appreciate that.
Just
stay on the line. Stay on the line so you can hear some more revolutionary action, because it's not just talk. We're taking it to the next level. You guys, if you're in Atlanta, come out to 1386 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, May 19th. Malcolm X Day. We're going to build more upon this sort of thing, and it's going to be a day of action, not just talk. So so that's what we're doing it right there. I do want to get to some more of the callers. There's a lot of people on the line, but a lot of people press 1. So I do want to also go to GoFundMe.com, CMXDATL. What we're doing is we're getting a Malcolm X Day Center, which will house a think tank and also an operations room where we will be helping out families that are struggling and different people, and have that happen. We already have a location in Atlanta, right above Soul Vegetarian, but we need you guys' help. So go to GoFundMe.com, CMXDATL. We have just worked out a deal with an artist out here named Metu, and if you donate $500 or more, you could get a canvas painting from Metu, and he was actually featured on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. His Malcolm X painting was featured in the first episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So you guys definitely want to go ahead and go to GoFundMe.com, CMXDATL, so we can get that Malcolm X Day Center, which will be the epicenter for this sort of thought, this think tank that we so desperately need in our communities. Now, 662, you're on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven. What is your thoughts? 662?
Yeah, what's up? I just want to say, coming of age of 22 years old, like, I was always brainwashed, and now that I've seen the light, like, I just want to tell Eric, keep doing what he's doing, and we need more unity, like, more unified of a lot of young brothers out here and sisters to just come together and realize that we're in mental slavery, like, it's really happening, and everybody asking is like the revolution and whatnot. I just want to know, is he okay? Are you okay? And what's your next move? Like, what's your plan?
Oh yeah, sister. Well, I'll speak very general, given the circumstances. But you know, like I've been telling everybody, I've been relinking with after this situation occurred. I was in safekeeping from the get-go. From the very second that they declared the manhunt, I was in safekeeping always. I was never in harm's way. But I mean, my next move is just to build and to mobilize wherever I may be, and to keep connecting with the people however I need to. But more importantly, now that we're coming into the age of action and less prophesizing and less talking, there won't be much more of these things to happen. Much of what you'll see from me will just be action-based, as it needs to be. Because revolution is not talk, revolution is indeed action. So just speaking very generally, my next move is to move, as I say, out of the knowledge of self and into the wisdom of self. Because niggas been had knowledge of self since Noble Drew Ali. We got all the knowledge in the motherfucking world, but niggas still enslaved. Why? Because niggas ain't acting on their knowledge. So we need to apply the knowledge. That's what it means to be wise, the application of knowledge. So we need a new system, which is the wisdom of self. This is what we need to start to act on. You see? So, you know, that's in general, that's my next plan, but to put everything in an action formula, a practical formula that our people can actually act on, but based within reason and logic. Because it doesn't have to be, a super complex formula to destroy white supremacy. The formula is actually very simple. It's not very hard, actually. It's just the responsibility is great. That's what deters many of us. So, that's what it is, sister.
All right. No doubt. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee? Okay, cool.
All right, no doubt. We'll stay on the line. We're gonna continue this discussion. 317, you're on the line with 2RAW4TV and Koven.
Yo, what's up, man? This is Nubian Sankofa again, man. I called in earlier, but a few things I forgot to mention. I feel like as brothers and sisters who's in the people's army right now, you know, we need to do more than just, you know, go hands up. We need to start learning some discipline of martial arts, you know. I don't care if you go on YouTube. I've been personally going on YouTube and just following certain techniques, you know what I'm saying, and they definitely improve my skills, especially if you have somebody to spar with you. Another thing I like to say is, since we got hip hop and the young people is like influencing everything, we need to stop. We need to make sure we really tugging the coast of like our fellow people who just promoting like this dumb shit that's just making niggas dumber. You know what I'm saying? If you know some real brothers who's either teaching on some real stuff, like as far as rap goes, as far as anything go popular on here, if it's an Instagram channel, YouTube channel, you need to start shooting it to your family, shooting it to your friends, so everybody get on the same page. Because at the end of the day, you know, everybody could probably be docile for a while until like it hits home. You gotta let niggas know that, like, yeah, Freddie Gray could have been your brother, that could have been your son. You know, anybody could have been anybody. You know what I'm saying? And the brother who called in from prison earlier, I'm glad he called. Because, you know, that's where our strongest brothers are at. Just keep it real. That's where the strongest brothers are at right now, doing push-ups right now as we speak. So if anybody out there who's organizing, I hope that that's in the discussion to try to get them brothers out as soon as possible, brothers and sisters out as soon as possible.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you're, I don't know where you're going to be at, but hashtag CMXD, see what people are doing May 19th, because this is going to be an international discussion of action, and also, you know, action will be taking place. You know, so on Malcolm X's birthday, man. So if you're in Atlanta, I know we're going to be meeting at 1386 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard at 1 p.m. So, you know, if you're in that area, you know, definitely hope to see you. Where are you calling from, though?
I'm calling from Oakland, California. And what's the hashtag again?
That's right, Don. What's that?
Well, what's the hashtag? What's the hashtag?
CMXD, and I know we have a whole army out there in Oakland, man. So check them out.
Powerful.
Yeah, you're amongst a lot of like-minded people. So hashtag CMXD and see what's going down. Oakland is definitely going down on Malcolm X's birthday, man.
All right. And I also want to say one more thing. I got to shout out. I put out a new song called Unapologetically Black. You can go on SoundCloud /7 Nubian, the number 7 and Nubian, Nubian. You know, that's how I'm rocking. That's how I'm trying to spread the word. So.
Okay.
Much love.
I appreciate you, family. No doubt.
So,
oh yeah, most there.
All right.
Hello.
Well, I mean, we're talking about this we're talking about because it's beyond talk right now, because the police aren't talking when they're gunning down your children. The police, you know what I'm saying, these things, they're not talking about it, they're just doing it. And, you know, we're so used to just talking and voting and waiting and putting our hands up in the air and doing this boycott stuff, you know what I'm saying, and having all of the methods that we use, you know, to sort of circumvent the situation that we're in are just long-term. One, I mean, it's like we have to wait 1,000,000 years for a vote, and then two, it just seems to blow up in our face, and now we're, you know, people's grandsons and granddaughters are marching for the same thing they were marching for in the 60s. So,
right.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, right now, we're at a point where, you know, convening and unifying doesn't cost anything. So I think that is the number one thing that we need to do is unify with like minds. We have this technology to where we can link up with people with that like-minded mentality. So we need to link up and physically meet up, and then we discuss what we need to do and just do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really don't even need to discuss that much, you know what I'm saying, because the bare bones are already there. It just needs to be put out as far as what the next action is going to be. So, man, it's been a great discussion with you. I still got a bunch of people on the line. I'm gonna have to hit y'all because I don't know exactly who I got. who I put on and who I didn't, but there's a lot of people on the line, and I know we've been having a great discussion about this, man. But what is your thoughts on what do you think is just the next move for us, man? Like as far as black people unifying and things of that nature.
The next move, actually, as I said, takes place mentally.
Yeah.
That mental realization of the gravity of the situation that you're dealing with, and the responsibility, the great responsibility that you must take on, and actually internalizing that responsibility, seeing it and feeling it to be your own responsibility. Because again, many niggas didn't have knowledge of self. Niggas didn't have knowledge of self for over 100 years now, but they haven't had responsibility. So all that damn knowledge don't mean nothing if you're not responsible enough to act on that knowledge. Knowledge of self is not sufficient, and it has shown, it has proven. Knowledge of self is not sufficient. Yes, it is a prerequisite, but it's not sufficient. So just like if you want to build a house, just laying down the foundation is not sufficient. You need to build upon the foundation. The foundation is knowledge of self, sure, but now we need to build upon it. And part of building upon it for us as African people is developing a sense of self-responsibility, a sense of wisdom, which is the application of knowledge, the practicing, the practical aspect of the knowledge. Niggas don't practice what they know. They just theorize on it all damn day. They talk about it. There is no action for it. So the next move, which is still has not been fully acted upon, is decolonizing the mind. But don't get it twisted. That needs to be run side by side with decolonizing the actual land. The only way you can decolonize the land, or to get rid of that occupational force, is to rout it out, to kill those who oppress your existence. Again, killing is a very grand act, I'll say. You must be very responsible. You have to take on an extreme sense of self-responsibility when going about that. It's not anything to play with. And again, as Malcolm said, most of these niggas knew how raw it is, how raw revolution actually is. We wouldn't even speak this much on it because we spend more time trying to come into the sense of self-responsibility of what we're about to do. Speak on it with more of a, with more